Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Eye on the Ball. I'm Steve Rivera, and you're listening to 1030 The Voice. Good hour show today. I have CPR2U, Mr. Michael Balta, and Mr. Bill Spurbeck from the CPR2 gang. They do a monthly show here, and today is their day. We're going to have a talk about 9/11. Obviously, it's a huge day nationally. I saw the shows this morning in New York, obviously impacted there primarily, and then everywhere else in the country. But I also wanted to talk real quick about news that broke, and you guys can join me if you care.
Sure.
Too, with the U of A basketball situation kind of getting more complicated or muddled here with news that broke overnight or this morning that some of the tapes, and we knew this, that some of the tapes were not used in the FBI investigation, have come out in searches for public records. And Yahoo reported this morning that on those tapes that were not used in the trial a while back, that Book Richardson admitted or said he did pay $40,000 to a high school coach, to keep Elkins eligible so he can get into the college ranks here at Arizona.
Steve, is this one of the recordings that the judge in New York said the NCAA would not have access to?
Yes.
And now they're just starting to come out.
Because they're part of the public record.
Oh, yes. That's interesting.
And if there's one, guess what? There's probably
more.
Two.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's two, there's probably four. So
I like your math.
Yeah, so that's just the case. And we've talked about this before.
Sure.
I mean, once it starts to leak out more and more, the thing about it, everybody was waiting for news or still waiting for news. We just don't know when that's going to happen with the NCAA.
And we don't know when the end is going to be either.
Correct. And that's, even when the end's here, we may not even get there because they'll just make a announcement and UA might challenge it or impose their own thing. So we'll see. But just not good news. This is not good news, whether it's going to affect the program or not. But it's a big deal, obviously.
Well, the only good part about it is it hasn't brought the U of A basketball program or any of the coaches' names into that conversation that was recorded. It was basically Book paying money to a high school coach to get Raleigh Alkins' high school transcripts amended, changed,
correct,
so that he would meet the academic requirements to get to the U of A. The only question in my mind is, where did the $40,000 come from?
$40,000 come from, and how will it affect Arizona's success with Alkins in the lineup? Those games will likely be forfeited if it's proved to be true.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense. But that's for another day. We could talk about that tomorrow or whatever. But that's just the news. And then the Team USA lost today to France.
The girls?
The guys.
The guys. That doesn't surprise me. This is the third game in a row that they've lost.
No. I'm not talking soccer. I'm talking basketball.
Oh, basketball.
First time in 13 years they've lost to. First time they're not going to get a medal in 13 years.
But losing to France, come on.
I speak French.
Where were these games being played?
China.
Oh.
China. Well, still doesn't matter. They didn't. Arizona. U of A. USA did not have a great team, but then again, they're pros. They're very good pros. They just couldn't beat those teams. Struggled in one of their first games, and then kind of breezed, and then they lost today.
Certainly not the dream team.
No, yeah.
The nightmare. What's it? The nightmare team.
The nightmare team.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that were involved in the NBA playoffs and the championship series that we thought would probably play on the team decided not to.
Right. Would you play if you have all these millions? That if you get hurt, you don't have those millions anymore? Well, I mean, that's the argument.
Yeah, and this time of the year when you're probably going on vacation, want to take vacation time and do things.
Well, there's 2 weeks before the NBA starts already, so.
Yeah.
Get it
So, 2 weeks.
Bill, I'm glad you woke up, Bill. Thank you.
I was looking at pictures of you.
Were you? No wonder you perked up. The good-looking guy that you have in front of you. So, hey, you guys haven't been back. You haven't been here for a while. What's going on new with you? Saving lives, obviously, with the CPR2U.
I'm glad we pay you to say that.
Not well, so I'll muddle it. I'll muddle it. CPR2U. That'll cha-ching. Hold on, cha-ching. Wait, cha-ching.
How do you say chi-ching backwards?
Oh, don't even.
Negative. So, Day of Remembrance with 9/11, obviously.
Yes.
Kind of got a local story to share with that is,
Before you start that, you used to be a fireman?
yeah, still paramedic, but fireman, paramedic,
Michael?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So it would probably impact you guys differently than it would impact me, although it impacts everybody.
Yeah, and I'm going to share a perfect story here.
Go ahead and tell
on
me,
it.
but
So-
is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, a gentleman I used to work with back here in Tucson back in the 80s left Tucson and got hired on with the New York Fire Department, or as they call it, Fire Department New York. And the morning of 9/11, got on shift and left shift for a couple hours for a dental appointment. Well, during that, the airplanes went into the towers, and his whole engine company, actually whole station, they had a ladder company, engine company, ended up dying in the
In the tragedy.
in a tragedy.
And
he had left for a dental appointment, was to return from shift, but during that period.
so let me ask you, so are you done with that story?
No, and now he's medically retired from PTSD.
I was going to say, what do you call that? Remorse, survivor's remorse, if that's the right.
Yeah,
Do you know if he had that?
yeah. In fact, he retired because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah. In fact, I just talked to him less than a year ago, and it still affects him today.
Yeah. Just
On it.
isn't timing the whole
Yeah.
in the world that we
Yeah.
live in?
Yeah.
Timing's everything.
Yep.
Mhm.
And took out his whole station, and again, he left for a dental appointment.
So how long did that take before he was affected?
Immediately, and then medically retired. 3 or 4 years after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Robert Menning is the name, by the way, if anybody knows Robert from.
Where's he at now?
He's this is back in New York.
He's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Kind of
was.
a terrible
It's funny. In fact, no, it's a terrible way. There's
tragedy.
No question. I was, in fact, one of my colleagues, former colleagues, he's going to be on the show tomorrow, Lee Chappelle, who worked for the Arizona,
Dave's brother.
the Republic, I guess. I don't know. Wait, Tucson guy? Oh, Dave, shut up. How do you put up with this guy?
Hey, can you spell run?
No. Nor do I want to.
Yeah.
So we talked about this. 9/11, 18 years ago, Arizona played basketball at the Madison Square Garden in 2000. Well, that same year, just 3 months after the fact, and it was eerie.
Mhm.
You know, I'm this small town
Yeah,
kid.
it's.
It was just eerie at the time. Still smelled, still smoky. It was just lingering.
lingering. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been back? Have you guys been?
I've been back. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
I was there
just-
2 years ago.
Kind of serene, but knowing. If you didn't know what had happened there,
Right.
you would know that something happened there. If that makes.
Yeah,
makes
yeah, it makes
sense.
total sense. Well, the building there, the white building, the mall, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
very nice. And then obviously the memorial.
Memorial
Super
and then
nice.
the trucks and yeah, it was again a situation. Things have changed. One of my areas of expertise, so-called. In fact, I got a degree in chemical engineering over it. Was just that was hazardous materials response and terrorism, and been involved in training over the years with that. So many rules and regulations, and then rolling into the fire service and EMS service and
Right.
EMS, emergency medical services, or as we know it in our business, earn money sleeping.
I'll remember.
Sleeping shifts.
So-
Tudum.
Yeah, yeah. So any related stories for you, Michael?
Mine was in the military. Most of my firefighting career was in the military.
What years? What years during that
From
time?
79 to 1980.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, 79
79,
to 1990. Sorry.
Okay.
So
How old are you? You look pretty young. That's a long time
I
ago.
just turned 58.
Oh wow, you look good. Kind
Did you ask age or
Age.
IQ?
No, I would have thought young. You look good.
Yeah, thanks. 58,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've already talked about your health issues, but
Yeah.
How old do I look? Like 70 with my gray hair? No, that we're gonna change it on me now. You know, of course, it's my show.
70.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, Steve, when you dye your hair, it's supposed to be all one color. You're missing a few spots.
Oh, the laughs is not ready for you yet.
No?
No. So you're in the military.
And military, and then did some government firefighting work and some contract firefighting, and then from there went and did something completely different for 13 years before I got back into AMS, and I remember where I was. I was in Kingman, Arizona, working at a shop in Kingman.
Witness protection
Mhm.
program.
Yeah.
The witness protection program in Kingman.
Yeah, in Kingman, Arizona.
So what were
believe it or
you?
not.
It was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. What were you doing?
I was just at shop. We just got there, had our coffee, and turned on the TV, and we didn't do anything for the rest of the day.
Right.
So-
I
Yourself.
was pulling out of the garage and turned the radio on, and immediately pulled back in and ran in and turned the TV on.
Yeah, and then you're probably there
And watched it
all
yeah,
day.
Yeah, all day. It's just, again, a tragedy, and have we yet fixed the problem? I don't.
Right. Everything's changed since then. It's funny.
Airport security.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
House security airports. They just picked up on that mechanic last week. That
In house.
mechanic at I think it was a Miami mechanic was trying to jerry rig
But it was in house.
the aircraft.
The call was coming from in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a mechanic at Miami Airport for American Airlines.
Yeah.
Was trying to, excuse my language, screw the aircraft, and they ended up arresting him over
Right.
trying to terrorize the aircraft. Yeah, so
Right. Not only do we have to worry about the other guys,
Yep.
we have to worry about ourselves.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're doing a lot of good things. They had the stair challenge today.
Yeah. Right. Maybe
Maybe
one day I'll
efforts
do that.
continue as far as remembrance and stuff.
Right.
If you've served any time in the fire service over the last 30 years or so, you definitely have some type of relationship or know somebody that was know somebody that was involved in it or
Right.
what. But yeah, just
Right. Let's take a quick break, Tom. But I wanted to ask: you guys were firefighters. A lot of kids, all ages, throughout the last few decades or whatever,
Sure.
want to be either cops
Mhm.
or firefighters as they
because
go-
of that.
because well, be
Well,
way
it's
before
getting
this.
it's getting a little bit past that age. But for 5 or 6 years after that incident,
Mhm.
people were joining the military because of it, or
Sure.
wanting to become law enforcement or fire or
Yeah.
EMS because of it.
Right. It has an impact on a lot of different things. But we'll talk about that. How the profession has changed.
Sure.
Not because of it, but how it's changed
Yeah, it's
over the years.
revolved. of course.
Right. Okay. Let's take a quick break here on 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk.
You can also talk.
Hey, welcome back to Eye on the Ball here on 1030 The Voice. I'm Steve Rivera, your host. I'm here with the CPR2U group, Mike Baltas and it's Balta.
Balta.
Yeah, and then Mr. Bill Spurbeck. It's Spurbeck, right?
I've been called a lot worse, but yeah.
Yes, I'm sure you have. But hey, anybody take advantage of your calling?
I just want to reach out to JB. I appreciate it. This is Mike. I got your message. I'll give you a call after the show, and we'll get you set up for that class.
Yeah, and what we've been doing each month, Steve, is you hear us on the talk show here. Give us a call.
Eye on the Ball. Just say mention Eye on the Ball.
Yeah, mention Eye on the Ball. And
Give them the number.
Our telephone number 520-400-8204, and we'll give you 50% off on a CPR course.
And how long are those courses?
The course is 3 hours,
3 hours.
Mhm. and we do them 6 days a week, mornings, afternoons, evenings, and weekends.
Chance to save a life.
Save a life, our motto. CPR saves lives.
Yeah.
So let me tell you one more story, Steve, as we're talking about 9/11. A local community guy here moved to New York. I actually went to the fire academy and paramedic school with him. He's an older guy. He's actually 78 now. He looks like he's 40. But he actually worked on the Twin Towers, building them.
Back when they were first.
Back when they're actually, he actually did still work on them.
Mm.
And then after the 9/11 incident, they actually flew him back there and gave him a piece of the actual building. When they
Did you talk to him when after it happened?
Oh yeah, I'm best friends.
Did you?
with him.
What was your biggest? Did you have like a major question or two about it? It says, how can you imagine that happen?
You look at a couple of things. One is being that person on the aircraft, not knowing what's going on up in the cabin, going through the building,
Mhm.
and then Clint going back, building the building, and then going back and seeing the aftermath, because he'd gone back a couple weeks after while it was still smoldering and stuff, and to this day it still affects him.
Sure.
Really
My
bothers
whole
me.
thing is you never imagine that type of building of any building
like that.
would fall like that.
that easily. It seemed that easy.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of internal. So again, just remembering the 3,000 plus brothers and sisters that
Right.
died trying to save a life, making a
Right,
difference.
right. So you guys were firefighters. Why did you get into the business? One and military too.
My family was prior firefighting, so I grew up in the firefighting family, and
Mhm.
then my uncle actually was in the Air Force, and he had talked me into going in. It was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just wish I had stayed in longer. I stayed in 12 years and got out. Should have stayed in the 20, but that's another story for another time. But
Well,
but-
we're talking about being a firefighter. I'm thinking a police officer, a firefighter, pretty much like those are hero jobs.
mhm.
Well,
Back
yeah.
in the day, even more so now.
Well, police officers grew up to be firefighters.
yeah, we go back and forth.
We go back and
It's
forth.
part of a.
It's a
career.
love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
yeah,
like
it's funny.
newspaper
fun.
guys and TV guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Or radio guys.
No, but you'd agree with me. It's
Yeah.
a hero. It's a hero job.
Yeah,
yes.
we don't like to be called that. We do it for a reason.
What is that reason?
The reason is life in general, as far as what better thing in life that you can do than save a life.
Right.
you know,
You know,
So let me ask you. With that said, how many lives have you saved?
you know, I don't know, and I'm proud to say I don't know. Typically, you don't track that type of stuff.
But more than two?
Oh yeah, I'm going on next year. Will be 38 years as a paramedic. I started young, 18 years of age. My goal is to be the first 50-year certified paramedic in Arizona. Obviously, I'm going to be into my late 60s, early 70s, but that's my goal right now. With my length of service as a paramedic, not a paramedic firefighter, but as a paramedic, I'm in the top 15 as far as longevity. Yeah, with that, and there's nothing better. But even more, it's kind of funny how humans treat humans. And one of my favorite sayings is, dogs treat humans better than humans treat humans.
Mm-hmm.
On it. And we talk about counting things. Number of lives, I don't know. There's certain incidences that I do remember. One thing I do keep count of, and most people in the fire or police or EMS service do kind of count, is number of babies delivered.
How many?
Mine is a little high because I was a flight paramedic up in Flagstaff when I was going to college. And so we used to fly onto the reservations a lot, and there wasn't a lot of prenatal care. But I've delivered 22 babies and 2 sets of twins. And, that's so hard and difficult. It's natural. I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
And let
you
me tell
didn't
you,
go through the
let me,
pain.
yeah, let me tell you one more little comical story. This is back in about 84, 85, when Niner Road had nothing on it. There was Bosa Donuts, and then Circle K. Got dispatched for imminent birth, child delivery, at the donut shop there on the road. So I get there. It's like 2:30 in the morning. We just got out of bed, etc. Not paying attention. So I get down there and start preparing for the delivery of the baby. And this girl looks down at me, the mom. She says, "Is that you, Bill Spurback?" And oh, sorry, I didn't recognize you from this end. But her parents were there, and everybody kind of laughed. And Steve just got the joke. But
No. So that was a joke.
Yeah,
I was
true
ready
story.
for.
That
I
was
was
true
ready for
story.
Michael Balta's.
bumper.
Well, it says you are the daddy.
Yeah.
You are the daddy.
Who's
That
your
would have been better.
But yeah, the mom and dad were there and stuff like that. Everybody started laughing. But
They're saying, "Please tell me he's not the dad."
yeah,
Mike, so how about you?
2
births?
2 births. That's it.
What about
yeah.
lives?
I don't know. There's
A few.
a few.
Okay, you guys are being
it's more.
You guys are being modest.
no,
You
okay.
know,
I worked on a.
Wait.
You know.
Let Michael finish.
All right.
It's about the passion for the job.
Sure, of course.
You got to have the passion, and we show true compassion. So when we do go out there and work, and it's just we just do it because we're passionate about
Sure.
passionate about what we do.
I think everybody who has a job wish that would happen to them in their
Mhm.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Passion. So, real quick, as far as numbers is, when I first became a paramedic, there was a lot of EMTs, but not paramedics.
Mm-hmm.
And so my typical 24-hour shift on emergency calls was 18 to 22 transports. We'd get to the fire station, and they wouldn't see us a lot of times till the next morning. So a lot of that, as far as lives saved and different types of calls and stuff like that, was really dependent upon how busy your station was,
Mhm.
too.
Mhm. I think the one thing I know, there's a lot of boring time in that time being a firefighter,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But there's also exciting time. So no day is the same,
No, you don't know what you're
Mm-mm.
going to get.
No.
which is cool too.
Well, yeah. I mean, it changes from one day to the other. One day you could run 3 calls in your shift. One day you could run 16.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you could have no calls after midnight, or you have the dreaded 6 or 7 calls after midnight, and then
Mhm.
you're up for
And-
24 hours.
And nothing after midnight is good.
yes.
Yeah, and depending upon, again, the station you worked at,
Mhm.
different call loads, different stations. And as I said at the beginning of the show, EMS, Emergency Medical Services, is really earned money sleeping. So,
Mhm.
it's a noble career.
Right.
And again, taking a CPR class is just as important.
Right. Okay, we're going to take a break here and come back on the other side here on 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk. Back to Eye and the Ball here on 1030 The Voice. I'm Steve Rivera, your host. And with me today are the CPR2U group, Bill Spurbeck and Mike Balta. Do you want to talk a little about sports and come
Yeah,
back?
I was gonna say, let's talk about sports. So this past weekend, and
Yeah. So
Uh,
you guys sometimes work the games, football games.
we were.
We used to.
Used to, not
Used to.
anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So what are the state of the UA football program?
Well, I'm an alumni of Northern Arizona, so I'm proud of what they did.
How well they played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my wife teases me all the time. She's a U of A graduate. She says NAU stands for not a university. But anyway, I think NAU.
What did you eat for dinner, or have you? You probably
didn't-
haven't eaten for dinner yet.
No, we haven't eaten.
That's why you're a little goofy today, like little.
Today?
We mean well, Bill. We can
Well,
call
the-
911 at any moment now.
Does Sports Talk 1030 have an HR person here?
No, I'll give you the number to the boss.
Boss, yeah.
He answers the name of Steve. We'll be
That
fine.
check you were going to get? So, I think NAU did a great job. You look at just the skill level of the players, the size of the players. But one team I was really impressed, we were talking about earlier, was Army
Yeah.
against Michigan. You have a 315-pound defensive lineman going against an Army cadet that they have to follow military weight guidelines. So he's weighing 215, 220, and just the Army did a fantastic job.
You know, and I know that you know. Sports is not about that. It's
Oh.
about how much you want to
Well,
play, how much you want to
Well, it's not so much weight. There's talent and
There's
technique and stuff like that.
Well, even Michigan's in talent. If they have talent, it's a 9 compared to Army's 6
6, yeah. It's that. I mean, they go to the military academy.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but why do upsets happen? The 9s don't think they don't have to show up,
They don't have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
and that's what happens a lot of time.
And what's interesting, I picked up listening to the game, is that right now, if you're an athlete at Army and you get drafted, Roger Staubach was one. What's his name? The basketball player was another one from the Naval Academy, David Robinson.
Mhm.
But right now, they have to fulfill their 5-year commitment. I guess right now in the White House they're looking at that they're going to allow these athletes to go professional and then come back and do their military time.
Well, Villanueva, I think it is. He plays for
Villanueva, Pittsburgh, yep.
Yeah, a
But
friend of mine.
he's reserve.
I guess.
Yeah, he's
A friend
reserve
of mine
officer.
in town, who's a very close guy, a friend of mine, taught him at West Point, I think it was.
He was West Point, yes, he was
Yeah.
Army.
Mhm.
But so I think that's not a
That's a nice thing. That's a good thing.
yeah.
Let them
a
play
good thing
while they
for-
have time to
while
play.
they have, and they're able to, and then come back and do your military time.
Right. And Mike, anything on the football team?
No, I didn't. I mean, I've always liked watching the U of A play, and
Win or lose?
win or lose,
You're
I
that
always
guy.
support. I'm that guy.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy.
You're probably a native too.
No, I'm from Maryland.
Oh,
I'm from
okay,
back
okay.
east. So,
Well, look at Maryland's team. Well, Maryland didn't do too bad this
Maryland
weekend.
Terps. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
playing better than people thought.
They
Yeah.
did well.
So okay, let's switch. Well, any more on the football team because
No.
the program.
Yeah,
I've said this on a few times. It's not very good.
I'd like to
Go.
jump in on the football
is this?
game. I thought the offense is doing well. They seem to be improving about the way you'd expect them to at this time of the season.
Mhm.
The defense, I am worried about.
Yes.
Well, Friday night,
How many
Saturday night,
points?
tell.
Yeah, how many points did NAU score on Division One?
40 some.
41.
40.
28 in the second half.
So, yeah, I'm a little worried
The
about the
first one to
defense.
50 this weekend wins. I don't think it's going to be Arizona.
No, that's going to be Hawaii's got a good team. They beat Oregon State.
Yes.
They're kind of proving themselves with but Texas Tech is going to be a true
Test.
defining test for the U of A this weekend.
Sure. Sure. If Arizona happens to win, what will that tell you? Anything?
We'll have to wait for next week.
No, that's how it is. Every weekend's a test, but I don't
So the
think
number 9 team came and didn't think they could play well enough to beat the number 16.
correct.
Steve, you're not going to tell us that luck had anything to do with it.
No.
No, he's retired.
No.
Okay.
No. Luck at this level, it happens, but not at this
No.
juncture.
But it's funny if you look at the history of U of A football. When we get these big, strong, top-rated, teams in the top 10,
Mm-hmm.
we do actually pretty good against them.
Exactly.
Beat them.
Exactly.
Then we get these slacking teams that are in the top 100,
It's my 9-6 thing.
right?
It's my 9-6 thing. They don't have to show up, or they don't show up to play against the good teams, and then the 6 teams show up and play. They beat Washington as a top-ranked team.
Yeah.
Arizona is notorious, especially in basketball. When
Yeah.
Lute played, when they were an underdog with Lute, they always played the 9s and the 10s tough because they got no respect.
Yeah.
But when they were the 9 or the 10, sometimes they didn't show up and they got beat.
How about Washington losing to Cal?
That was a big surprise.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, in fact, you guys follow the Pac-12. Anthony was saying he likes likes the league because it's better at the top than at the bottom. I think it is.
Yeah, what I like about the Pac-12 too is that it's got a hodgepodge.
That hodgepodge is a good word, or
Right.
2 words.
Okay, hold on a second.
I give you a
I
compliment.
googled it. No, yeah, hodgepodge.
No, it's
But no, it's truly a mixture of teams. You go back to the SEC and stuff like that. Everybody's basically good. Everybody could win on any.
Depends who they
any
play.
day.
Depends on play.
But yeah, that's what's interesting about
So there's
Pac-12
that, like-
football is you don't know who's going to be. We know Clemson or Alabama is going to be at the top.
All
So,
right.
so Bill, this is like we have 3 conference levels in the Pac-12:
Yeah,
upper,
Hodge-
middle, and lower.
Well, yeah.
Hodgepodge and smudge.
Yeah, but it is it's a different.
My prediction is that Arizona will finish at the bottom of the South.
Yeah, I mean, you look.
Below ASU?
Yes.
ASU is actually supposed to be a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, I'm sorry to knock you off your chair there.
The only one that I think U of A might have a chance against right now is UCLA. They got beat by.
No, they're
got beat by San Diego State.
Mr. Kelly is not the coach that everyone thought he
That was
was.
going to be no, but everybody else are playing. USC, Oregon, Utah, all great teams.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We'll see what happens this weekend. I don't think they're going to win, but we'll see. In fact, you know what? I have some tickets. Let's give away some tickets. A pair of tickets to the first caller, 790-2040. Before I forget, call in. Good game. You're going to see a good game if you go to the game.
Oh, they're not movie tickets.
They're in the movie. Yeah, the Titanic.
Yeah.
The Titanic.
First caller, ask a question about CPR. How's that?
No, first caller. Yeah, well, CPR. You press. What's that? Staying alive.
Staying alive.
Staying alive. That's the music.
Well,
guys-
it's the newest one. Have you heard that?
You
and
you
seriously,
probably told me. I know you.
Baby shark, Grandpa shark. Have you heard that yet?
I've heard it.
Yeah, no, that's the newest.
Because
it's got the
how?
same tempo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Any copyright issues?
No. Take 2.
Yeah.
But-
So Baby Shark. Okay.
Yeah,
and,
Baby Shark. Staying Alive. And then the terrible one is called what, Mike?
This was years ago. Was Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh yeah. You humorous people. You guys are in the business.
10,000 comedians that'll work.
Yes. And we have 3 in the building.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't going. You guys aren't going to the games. We'll talk about basketball in a bit.
I was going to go this past weekend, and I had a notice.
Oh, because you're at NAU.
Yeah, we actually bought special shirts. My
NAU.
wife had gotten a U of A shirt and a helmet, and I had my NAU shirt.
And no helmet.
No helmet, of course not.
Right. You're
He'd have to
set.
take his other helmet off first.
You're set up. Right.
Speaking of
How long
tonight,
have you guys been together?
I'm married.
What's your point?
No, we've known each other now like what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
at least 15
Mike,
years.
Mike doesn't want to remember. So, okay, let's go to basketball because I mentioned
Okay.
the situation with Book Richardson
Yeah.
and still the program is still kind of suffering from what it's suffered the last couple of years. Your thoughts on what's going on?
I think overall in college sports,
It's happening.
who gets caught?
It's about who gets caught.
Yeah, especially now. Unfortunately, the way it's set up is they're having to play dirty to get these recruits. The kids are smart through technology, right? Look at 15, 20 years ago. The kids didn't have the availability of technology to see what's going on. They listen to their parents. Today they go on and Google. Oh, look at this guy's getting 10,000, or so. I think it's a game.
Do you think it happened before all this?
I think it happened to a certain degree, but not like today. Because again, in technology, the kids are becoming wiser. They know they can. If you want me, you're going to pay for me because
Mhm.
I found it out on the internet that
You paid somebody else,
yeah,
or because people talk.
yeah.
People talk. Imagine that. People talk. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's just not good. This is not a good look.
Well, going back to and I had a room with actually one of my college roommates. His name was Frank Pollock.
The name sounds familiar.
Played for the 49ers, and
Okay.
then he was recently the Dallas Cowboys offensive line coach.
Oh, really? Okay. At NAU?
We had when I was up there, we had a number one draft, first round draft. His name was Sean Collins,
Yeah. the
tight
name's-
end, and
uh-huh.
he ended up getting a DV charge, and so he went downhill. And my
DB charge.
domestic violence.
Violence. Oh, way back then?
And then another gentleman I roomed with for just a semester. His name was Michael Haynes.
Yeah.
He went up to NAU on a track scholarship.
Right.
Never played football until his sophomore year in college. Played, I think, 12 or 13 years in the NFL.
Were the Raiders?
No, he played with the Saints and Falcons.
Okay, but the name sounds familiar. I don't know why.
Are you thinking of Marcus Haynes or?
No. But I
No,
know
you're talking about one of the defensive backs.
Yes. Mhm.
Haynes. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, Michael was a receiver.
From NAU.
Yep.
Oh, well. Oh.
Again, out of university.
Yeah. Mike, are you there? Are you asleep? Are you doing okay?
No, I'm doing good. I'm just talking to a customer.
Oh, okay. One of your
So,
customers. So
yeah.
You might want to give us a call, too. Didn't you mention that?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. And we mentioned a little bit ago, but again, give us a call. That you've heard CPR2U with Steve Rivera on Talk 1030, and we'll give you 50% off on a CPR class. And we do about 150 classes a month, so there's no reason not to know how to save a life.
Right.
50% off.
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. So I was listening to a mariachi group sing Baby Shark.
How was that?
Baby Shark. Yeah, that's funny.
And I have to laugh to
You
humor you. Oh,
You can
gosh.
YouTube that
Yes.
with it.
I have to wake up Tom because we need to go to another break here. Tom, are you
Oh,
awake?
Steve.
Yes.
Tom had told me that
Well,
you got
know,
a break when you got hired.
You have me. You want to do these ticket giveaways. So I, in addition to running the program and all of the fancy schmancy knobs and lighted buttons and stuff that I have here, and
and
two computers.
No, wait. I'm running. Note to self: get
And then,
somebody
and
younger.
then I got to answer the phone and be your secretary.
And when we
Isn't that
walked,
your
when we
job
walked in the room
description?
tonight, I thought I saw you giving Steve a massage.
Isn't that your job description to answer your phones? Did we get the
Yeah. You know, and I'm sorry, I forgot the hot towel today, Steve. I'm sorry.
Hey, wait. Let the jokes come from the professionals, sir. Hey, did we get the tickets gone? Are they gone?
Yeah, Michael called in and he's going to pick up the tickets. I told him he's going to pick them up here at the radio station.
Yeah, right. Okay. We're
So
good.
I'm hoping I told him right.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get those
Right.
ready for him.
He said
Thanks,
he's
Michael, for
gonna
calling in.
Come by tomorrow, probably.
Anybody wants to call in and save me from this show, that'd be great.
I think there's a vote here that should be taken on who gets saved from who. We're the ones that know CPR.
Did he say saved or shamed?
Yeah.
Both. Let's take the break here before we FCC calls
Shame.
us in.
Look at his face.
Yes. Hey, welcome back to Eye on the Ball here on 1030 The Voice. I'm Steve Rivera, your host. I'm in here with the CPR2U group, Mr. Mike Balta and Mr. Bill Spurbeck. So I guess you're keeping up with the baseball. Well, first, let's go with the safety issue. I guess most of the teams have now instituted the
Fence?
fence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
for that. I mean, there's people obviously against it, but again, It just takes one ball to the head and
Right.
go in there for
When it happens to
enjoyment.
you, you're sad. I wish they would have had that net.
What's that?
When it happens to you,
Yeah,
and
you
you're
wish you had a
affected.
net.
Yeah, you wish you had a net.
Mhm.
And your lawyer does too. But since we're talking about first responders and 9/11, one more quick story about a local hero.
Sure.
He's a Tucson fire captain, Bill Baith. He actually hit a game-winning home run in the Battle of the Bays series back when the earthquake happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually
I think it's 1989.
yeah. In fact, I think he just retired, or he's getting ready to retire.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's a Tucson fire captain.
Who do you play for?
He played for Oakland.
What's his name?
Bill Baith, Bathe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take a look at him.
Yeah.
But
Where do you go to school?
he was from California.
Oh, okay.
I think California. He wasn't a Tucson.
But now he
he lives here full time.
Oh,
Obviously, would be in with Tucson Fire Department.
yeah. Well, you're connected. You know all these people who are used to play or.
Yeah. So since we're talking about baseball and BMS stuff, I get a call for a shooting one afternoon during spring training. Get to the house, and there's two kids playing with a BB gun, and one of his brother shot him just under the eye. Had to get the parents and permission and stuff like that, and they had a babysitter there, and I said, "Where's his parents?" "Oh, at High Corbett Field." Long story short, it was Julio Franco.
Oh, I think you told me that.
I think I told you about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like Julio.
He was not a happy man when he showed up at the hospital. They actually yanked him off the field, and he had to leave and come to the hospital.
Yeah, during
For that.
spring
Yeah.
training.
Took care of Craig Biggio.
What year was that? Like 88, 89?
Probably more like 84, 85.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I covered the team in 88, 89.
Yeah. Craig
Did-
Biggio, when the Toros were the Houston Astros,
Mm-hmm.
Biggio was catching here.
Yeah,
He had broken his shin. Transported him as far as some of the sports.
right. Ken Kamenity, some of those guys that
Yep.
played. Real quick, because we talked about this last week, and we'll probably talk it again later this week. You guys, the toughest position to play in sports?
I went both ways in high school. Nice smirk. I went both ways in high school because I was 240, so which is pretty big back in the 80s. I played defense and offensive line, and I think at that time, defensive line, because they made us go into the 4-point stance and just getting up and down.
So you're saying defensive line.
Defensive line was the toughest for me.
Quarterback's not in that list?
No, I didn't bleach my hair and stuff in high school.
You were the uglies on the front.
Yeah.
And still
I
are.
was good. Okay. And then wrestling. Back then,
wrestlers got to be. That's a tough sport.
back then, the heavyweight class was unlimited weight. I guess now there's a weight limit, but back then it was unlimited weight, and I weighed again about 240. Drove all the way out to Kofa High School in Yuma. Wrestled this Native American kid. He was over 400 pounds. He, I think it was not even 20 seconds. He pinned me.
Uh-huh.
That was probably the toughest sport. I only did it one season.
It's a tough sport.
Wrestling.
Those are tough dudes.
Those are tough dudes, and the conditioning and stuff like that. And in baseball, I caught. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah, I was
catching.
going to say catching. For me, I caught
You still catch.
in my younger youth, and getting up and down, wears and tears on your knees and stuff like that. And
Right.
Are you
it,
still catching or no?
Catching it cold. Catching it
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah,
catching
no,
your
just
catching
spit
your
on
grief. Catching your grief. Yeah, baseball is difficult. And who are the best athletes?
Overall?
Yes.
Well, if you look I think overall, if you look statistically and stuff like that, i.e., a great hitter in the major leagues has a batting average of 300.
Uh-huh.
So only hitting the ball 3 out of 10 times. What does that tell you? And that's a great hitter.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Best athletes, though.
best athletes.
Yes.
It's tough because in football you got a number of as we know, skilled and unskilled positions. So I think who's the best athlete overall? Go ahead, Mike. I'll think about it.
I wouldn't even try to take a guess.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
no
they
real.
all-
There's no
they're-
real bad answer.
No, there isn't. I mean, every sport has their own best athlete,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to play,
Chess.
and say, it depends on the sport.
Yeah, and that's true. We were talking about some people called in last week and talked about motocross, like
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
motorcycle. people.
Okay. So really, I think the top-notch athlete right now is these MMA fighters. with all the different
physically fit,
physically fit, but well, they got to know wrestling, they got to know boxing, they got to know
and you got to
martial
be a
arts,
tough guy.
and you got to be willing to take a punch.
Right. Right. We didn't talk about that. Best athletes to me, football depends if you're not on the line,
Yeah.
wide
Mhm.
receiver, quarterback, baseball players, outfielder, shortstop.
Okay, by position, yeah.
Yeah.
I think shortstop overall.
hmm
For as much dexterity and movement that they do during the game. And,
there's two, the best athlete and then the toughest position.
yeah,
Sometimes they're not one and the same.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the sports are out there.
Well, just the U of A game. So I take it you're not going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Go if I give you tickets?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
we'll work for food.
We'll work for food.
Well,
Yes.
And what
Listen.
I just told you I'm giving you a gift card
Yes.
for training that we're doing. So my blood, work, and sweat. Actually, Mike's, because I'm going to be out of town. But do
Well, thank you very much for your kindness. Is that what you're looking for?
you have it in your hand yet?
No, that's true. I'll say
Okay,
it
there
with
you go.
yeah. Mike will do my dirty work.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Well, thanks for coming in.
no, thanks for
Okay.
having us. We look forward to what's next month, October. So maybe some
October.
World Series stuff. And
Yeah, we could talk about that. But again, let's give you your number out again.
okay, again, we're at 400-8204. 400-8204. Asked to speak to Mike the Panda Balta. That's his nickname.
You just found that out?
No, he knows that.
Oh, okay.
And we'll give you a 50% discount. But again, more importantly, is learning how to save a life, because age doesn't matter.
Right. No. You guys scared me straight from the last time. Went and got my heart checked, and I'm doing better.
Yes, we
Feeling
talked
fine.
about that, yeah.
Lost some weight. Feel fine. Feel good.
Don't say you look good.
I look good, man.
Yeah.
I look good. I can say I like the nicknames. I can tell myself I look good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for talking like 2 words, Mike. You know, with your guy here, you want to get 2 words.
You know
in.
what? I get hammered by you. My wife hammers me. You need to let Mike talk. You need to let Mike talk.
Next time, and then Sean comes in.
Sean will be in next time, yeah.
In lieu of you.
Because I'm having foot surgery, so.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks for coming in, guys.
All right, Steve.
Here we are, 10:30 The Voice. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks.